Hey folks, Leo here once again. Hope you enjoyed my review of Wonder Woman Bloodlines, ending my 2010s era superhero reviews. And hope you enjoyed my finally quick update video, y'all. Explaining the next videos on my channel. Now, let me explain. Now, guys, what I've been doing here on my channel is a superhero marathon. Uh, I've been reviewing movies like in the decades, like the 80s era superhero reviews, the 90s era superhero, so that's what I call it, 2000s, 2010s. And now, I'm on the last decade. No, Scam Lightly, I'm not. Sorry, Scam Lightly trying to call me. Don't ever answer Scam Lightly if you have a phone, by the way. Somebody trying to scam you for money. But anyway, I am on the last decades of 20 right now, as of now, and that is the 2020s era of superhero reviews. These are films that came out in 2020, starting with the year 2020 to 2025. Yes, I know we got what May, June, July, August, September, October, December, about 8 more months until we're in 2026, about I believe. But until then, I'll keep reviewing these movies, and I'm starting with the year 2020. I've reviewed 3 movies that came out that year on my other channel, but you can watch those videos on the other channel, those reviews, but don't subscribe. The mask profile picture, Levi McNally 983, stay subscribed to this channel. If you want to continue to see me doing videos and more stuff like that, or different kind of videos in the future, I always do, which I will do. Just stay tuned on this channel for more videos, okay? I'm sorry my hair looks like I need to get a haircut. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, like I said, these are the 2020s era superhero reviews, starting with 2020 to 2025, which is the decade we're living in right now, 2020s. So, yeah, and I'm starting with the year 2020, and I go by years and months, guys. I go through all 12 months of the year of all the superhero films that came out, and the years and months. I kind of just go in order by it, but that's just me. So, yeah. So to start with 2020, this ain't gonna be probably too much videos, but like I said, there was the 3 movies I reviewed that was the 2 Superman movies, Superman Red Sun, which was after this. I'll be sharing that review on my it's on my Superman marathon. It's on my Superman marathon that I added on this channel. I'll be putting on my DC reviews as well, and because yeah, Superman's DC, it'll be on. I'll put it on there, and my my superhero reviews as well after I review this movie. Superman Man Tomorrow, which was August, I think August 23rd, that came out. In October came the DC Showcase short film. It's a never after movie, but it was called Batman: A Death in the Family. Yes, I reviewed that. It's on my Batman marathon, but I will be sharing all the DC reviews and superhero reviews as well. But those 3 movies won't be reviews, so it'll be this movie. I'm just thinking. Okay, it'll be 6 movies I'll be reviewing for 2020. Yeah, it's not too much. But we'll be starting with this film came out in February. This film stars Margot Robbie. It is the 8th film in the DC Extended Universe, the DCU. It's a spin-off, a sequel to Suicide Squad, where Margot Robbie reprised her role as Harley Quinn. Yay! And that is the 2020 superhero film directed by Kathy Yang. That is Birds of Prey. I hated this movie. This movie was terrible. I hated it. I'm sorry. I don't get why critics love this. I don't understand why. I thought it was boring. It's basically just a man hater movie. It's a man bashing movie. Yeah, and before y'all call me sexist or whatever, I do like females, and but not these. Well, I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but I like her. But I'd rather just go watch Sky High. You know what? You know what? I'd rather watch Supergirl the movie from 1984 starring Helen Slater over this. That movie's a masterpiece compared to this. Yes, I appreciate that movie a lot more. At least I can be entertained, and I love Helen Slater as the character. Yeah, other movies like just let me go through it. You know that I reviewed on my other channel. So before anybody wants to call me a sexist or anything, and not superhero movies, I love Alien and Aliens with Sigourney Weaver in them. She's a badass lead. Yeah, like I said, Supergirl the movie, don't mind it, but you know what? I think I like it more after watching this Supergirl. That's the female superhero movie that I enjoy. Let's see. The next one I think is what came out in 19. Tank Girl. I love Tank Girl with Laura Petty. Laura Petty, she would have been to me. She is a lot better of an actress than Margot Robbie. She would have been a good Harley Quinn. Oh yeah, I'm wearing my Batman animated series shirt by the way. I got for Christmas last year. And you know what? I love that Harley Quinn more. Tank Girl. Black Scorpion. I like Black Scorpion, but Joan Serrano. She was good in that movie. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Electra, no, I hate Electra and Catwoman. Those are terrible. This was just as awful as those. Yeah, Electra was 2005 and Catwoman was 2004. Yeah, Catwoman with Holly Berry and Electra. Yeah, I hate those movies. Those are other two shitty ones too. So trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. But the Wonder Woman 2009 animated movie. That's a female superhero movie I love. Yeah, Wonder Woman 2009. I love that movie. I did read that on this channel. Yeah. The Catwoman 2011 short film. That was good. Short movie, but better than this. I'm just looking at the ones that I reviewed on this channel. Wonder Woman 2017 with Gal Gadot. I love that movie. Wonder Woman Bloodlines, which I just reviewed. I enjoyed that movie. I love the voice actress Rosario Dawson. Yeah, and Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel with Brie Larson. Hell, I even like the Marvels more than this. Captain Marvel. So yeah, there are female superhero movies I do like, but I didn't care for this movie. And hey, if you did, that's cool. But anyway, let's get into it. This is just my opinion, folks. Like I've explained before, with each set of reviews I do, it's just my opinion. In May 2016, ahead of the release of Suicide Squad, Warner Bros. Pictures announced a spin-off film focusing on Harley Quinn and several other female characters like these comics, such as Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. Margot Robbie was attached to inspire her role as Harley Quinn and would also serve as a producer. British screenwriter Christian Hodson was announced to be writing the film in November. Robbie had pitched the film to Warner Bros. As a regular girl gang film, including Harley because I was like, Harley needs friends. Harley loves interactive people, so don't ever make her do a standalone film. Robbie felt it was important for the film to have a female director. Yay. While Warner Brothers and DC Films have various other Harley Quinn oriented films in development, Birds of Prey was the only one whose development Robbie was directly involved. Robbie spent 3 years working on Birds of Prey and continued to present it to Warner Brothers until the studio felt the project was at a point it could be made. By April 2018, Warner Brothers and DC Films have finalized a deal with Kathy Yang to direct, making her the first female Asian director to direct a superhero film. She pitched the job as one to smash the protege. Robbie was confirmed to be producing the film under Lucky Chap Entertainment banner as part of her first deal with the studio. Sue Kroll and Brian Kaluuya were also announced to serve as producers. Production was scheduled to begin by late 2018 or early 2019. The pay was intended to appear, and the script was dropped, so due to his appearance in Batman. Bagger was a founding member of the team in the comics, was removed from Birds of Prey due to her playing standalone film, which never happened, got canceled. And then pre-production by July 2018, the film was entering pre-production. Robbie confirmed the film would be titled Birds of Prey, describing it as a different from the other DC films. Instead, as featuring Harley Quinn, instead of being produced small budget compared to other superhero films. She also stated Harley Quinn will receive a new costume. She's the casting of diverse actors. The lineup of Birds of Prey team was revealed to include Black Canary, Huntress, Cassandra Cain, and Rena Montoya. With the villain said to be a Batman adversary, who had not yet been in the scene of the films. Warner Brothers considering several actresses for Huntress. Blake Lively, who was in Green Lantern in 2011 movie. Vanessa Kirby, who was going to be playing, I think, the same Vanessa Kirby, I think, who's going to be playing Susan Storm, Visible Woman in the new Fantastic Four movie. She was considered for the role. Alison Ditto, I can't say her name right. Roman Sinus was Black Mass, aka Black Mass, was revealed to be the film's antagonist. Ewan McGregor was cast as him. Mary Elizabeth Winstead got the part for Huntress. Small T. Bell and Winstead was really cast as Black Canary and Huntress. They scheduled February 7th, 2020 release date. Stunt coordinator Jonathan Evlo, fight coordinator joined November. Robbie revealed the full title. Filming filming began in Los Angeles, California in January 2019 under the working title Fox Force 5. The fictional television show the same name mentioned in Pulp Fiction. Although filming has expected to also take place in Atlanta and Savannah, Georgia, the entire shoot took place in Los Angeles, and the production received a tax credit from California. This was some good couple. I think this was a while bit before COVID hit. So Jay Cassidy and Evan Schiff served as editors. So of course the film was released in theaters. Yeah. Uh, I just remember the trailers and stuff for the movie. Yeah, for the marketing of the movie. I don't remember too much marketing. Yeah, Jared Leto is not in this movie, by the way. Just to go ahead and spoil it for you. You only see Joker in animation in this movie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the film was not a huge hit at the box office. It was blamed on similar audience hesitation as the United States faced in COVID-19. And I'm not blaming the COVID-19 pandemic. Probably because barely, you were just being sexist. And you know what? Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, especially, those were hits at the box office because they were good movies, had good female leads in them. But they got positive reviews from critics. Okay, so Birds of Prey captures the guilty anti-spirit of Margaret Robbie's husband. No, it doesn't. Yeah. But for the cast of the movie, you have Margaret Robbie as Dr. Harley Quinzel, Harley Quinn, a former certified psychiatrist who became a crazed criminal and the Joker's accomplice, girlfriend, later part of the Suicide Squad. Harley Quinzel, her first creation though was in Batman anime series, episode called Joker's Favor, I believe. That was the first time we seen her. And of course, Harley was in the Batman Army. I like the voice actress Harley Silken, who did the voice. I think I can't say that name, but she is my Harley Quinn. Margaret Robbie, yeah, she worked with Will Smith in a movie called Focus. Leonardo DiCaprio, she was in yeah, I know she was in the Queer Teacher movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or New York. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, sorry, as Sharon Tate. I Tanya and Barbie, which honestly I don't care. Never care for Margot Robbie as an actress. I'm sorry. Mary Elizabeth Winston as Helena Berton, the Huntress, a vigilante who is the orphan daughter of a gangster, Bertellio. And she was good in the movie. She's my favorite character in the film, but she doesn't have a whole lot to do in this film. Mary Elizabeth Winston, I loved her in Sky High as Rural Pain. Yeah. She was in Live Free or Die Hard. I know she was in Room for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Honestly, I'd rather just watch that. Never seen that movie, but curious about it. But like I said, she was in Die Hard 4, playing Lucy McLean, playing John McClane's daughter. Jordan Smalt Bill as Diana Lance, Black Canary, who I was disappointed what they did with Black Canary in here, but that's just me. Now the actress, beautiful actress though. Can't think of any other movies. Gridiron Gang with The Rock. She was in that. Not too much movies. Okay. Rosie Perez as Rita Montoya. An alcoholic detective in Syndicated detective in Gotham GCPD. I remember the character in the animated series and in Gotham. Yeah. But Rosie Perez, I think she was in a movie. Yeah, a beautiful woman though. I think she was in the Road to El Dorado. She did a voice for that. She was in Do the Right Thing. She was in White Man Can't Jump. Uh, with Woody Harrison and Wesley Snipes. And let's say Shell. She was the Shell character in the Road to El Dorado, which I love that movie. That turned 25 by the way this year. Love that film. Very beautiful actress too, I think. But I didn't like what they did with her character in here. Chris Manness as Vidger's Ass, a deranged mob killer and henchman who carves a mark on his skin for each victim he claims. Yeah, Vidger's Ass is one of the villains, Batman's villain in the comics. My favorite live action version of him is in Gotham. Chris Manness, yeah. Trying to see if I've seen this guy in anything. Nope. But it does look familiar to me. The face, I mean. Eli J. Bosco's Cassandra Cain. A pickpocket who has a bounty placed upon her head by Silence after she steals a Bob diamond from him. Did not care for this actress at all, but that's just me. She was in Grey's Anatomy, Happy Land. Yeah. Eli Wong as Ellen Ye, Montoya's ex-girlfriend. I'm like, really? Now we had to throw the fact that she's gay. I'm like, yeah, lesbo. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Ralph Breaks the Internet. She did a voice. The Angry Birds movie. She did a voice for that. Ewan McGregor as Roman Science Plot Mask. A brutal, self-obsessed crime lord inherited the Science crime family who threatens Cassandra and Harley. Now, Ewan McGregor, you'll probably should know him from Star Wars as Obi-Wan Kenobi, the young, and of course the TV series Obi-Wan Kenobi that came out in 2022. I'd rather watch the prequels over this. Yes, even Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. Yes. To me, that's a masterpiece compared to this. And he was a Christopher Robin, which I liked him in that. But here, I did not like his performance. I'm sorry. It's not him I had a problem with. It's just the writing and what they did with the movie. Stephen Williams portrays Captain Patrick Captain in the movie. He was in The Equalizer, 21 Jump Street. Francis Chow portrays Mr. Keo. Jack Wilson portrays Tim Monroe. Matt Bourdain portrays Happy. Well, there's a back shot, or fear of a back shot of Jared Leto from Suicide Squad, and represents Johnny Gunn, the doubling for Leto in a brief flashback sequence. You have a picture of Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. Yeah, when Harley breaks into the police department. Anyway, the film had its world premiere in New Mexico City, got positive reviews, and it grossed $205 million worldwide. But it was falling short of its record-breaking event. So yeah, but the film was directed by Kathy Young. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry, she did not do good. Patty Jenkins would have been a better director. Yeah, I'm not racist or sexist or something like that. I'm sure she's a nice lady, but she was the wrong director for the choice. I'm sorry, and don't call me a sexist because I'm not. Patty Jenkins, I think that yeah, Wonder Woman 1984, that was better than this. That movie has issues, but I can have fun with that. Yeah. Despite that, and I love Gal Gadot in it too, so I'm not complaining completely. Yeah, Wonder Woman 1984 didn't bore me. It's got problems, all right, but despite that, it didn't. Yeah, that deserved to get more praise than this. Hmm. Kristen, she's best known for running films like Bumblebee, which I like. Oh, and she wrote The Flash. Yeah. Oh, she's she's British too. Oh yeah, The Flash. Yeah, couldn't hate that movie. That's even both movies suck. Yeah. The only movie that she wrote that I think is good is Bumblebee, because I love Haley Steinfeld in that. It's produced by Margot Robbie, Brian Nicholas, Sue Kroll, cinematographer by Matthew LeGate, who's done cinematography films like P.I., Tigerland, Phone Booth, which was directed by Joel Schumacher, the late Joel Schumacher, but that's a really good movie. Yeah, I got that film. Yeah. The first Iron Man movie, Iron Man 2, Cowboys and Aliens, working with Jon Favreau. Okay. Oh, and Venom, yeah, that was such a great movie. Edited by Jay Cassidy, who edited films like Roadhouse 66, Film Night Part 2, Urban Legend, Into the Wild, American Hustle, Joy the Last Place. Okay. Music's by Daniel Crumpton. Film scores like movies like In Fear, Blood, Awakening, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Ocean's 8, Spider-Man, The Spider-Verse. This movie, any other superhero movies after this? Let's see. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah. Production company Warner Brothers Pictures. DC Films, Lucky Chap Entertainment. Distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. It was released January 25th, 2020 in Mexico City, and here in the U.S. in the United States on February 7th, 2020. It's 109 minutes long, it's about 1 hour and 49 minutes. The budget is estimated to be around 82 point, estimated to be either 82 or $100 million. Well, I think an $82 million, but it only made $205 million. So no, I think it was more of 100 million. Yeah, I would say $100 million on its budget. Yeah, but either way, the film made $205.5 million. So it wasn't even a big hit. Barely, it was not even a hit. It wasn't completely flop, but didn't break records. It wasn't a huge box office hit. Prove me I'm wrong because we're in 2025 and has there been a sequel announced in this? I don't think so. It's such a great movie. How come it didn't get a sequel? Because it didn't do well at the box office. That's why. Yeah, didn't really. If it was $100 million, it didn't really surpass how much of its budget. Yeah, but anyway, the story of Birds of Prey. I'm just gonna call it Birds of Prey. I'm not gonna call it the Fantabulous Contraptionist of One Harley Quinn. That title I can't even say right now. I think it's fucking stupid. Because I'm not gonna sit here and say that damn title. I'm just gonna call it Birds of Prey. Whatever. You know, just call it Birds of Prey. But it's more of a Harley Quinn movie anyway. So that's the confusing part of this title. It's trying to be a Harley Quinn movie and a Birds of Prey movie. What are you trying to be? You know, yeah. But anyway, with the plot of the movie, the story synopsis, they're going to be spoilers. So if you haven't seen Birds of Prey, this is my first time, by the way. If you haven't seen this movie, turn off the review right now. And God bless you if you haven't. And God help you if you see it. Good luck to you if you do. But anyway, it is open season on Harley Quinn. When she has a supposed to break up with the Joker, that puts a big fat target on her back because she's like Joker's girl, so nobody can mess with her. But when she breaks up with the Joker for good, people, assassins, or people trying to get her. She's unprotected and on the run. She faces the wrath of a crime boss, Roman Sionis, aka Black Mask, and his right hand man, Victor Sass, and every other thug in the city. But things soon even get worse for Harley when she becomes the inspired allies of three deadly women: the Huntress, Black Canary, Renee Montoya, along with a teenage girl, Cassandra Cain, who basically Roman Sionis Black Mask. He's like the big guy, the crime city of Gotham, the huge crime lord in Gotham who wants to take over. He wants this diamond for some reason because it'll give him enough power to buy judges, to be like the king crime lord of Gotham, where he can get away with crimes and all that stuff, all that BS. And Cassandra Cain, her dumbass swallows the diamond. So basically, he wants to rip it out of her. He wants to kill her. He wants to steal it from her. So Harley Quinn, along with the Huntress, Black Canary, Ray Montoya, they become the Birds of Prey, and they have to take up Roman. They have to take Black Mask and his army on in a fight to the death, and they have to stop him for good. So yeah, that's the plot for you. So again, bear with me. This is my first time seeing this movie. But they team up to take Roman Zionist Black Mask. They team up to take him down. Yeah. All right. Remember, this is just my opinion, folks. If you like this movie, that's fine, but don't get upset by it. To me, this movie, it was a lot of man bashing. It seems like a sexist movie. Like they are dead set on just hating men in this film. I didn't feel like that with Captain Marvel or Wonder Woman or Tank Girl or Black Scorpion. You know, even unless you're a Catwoman, despite those movies' problems, I didn't feel like the film was hating on men like this movie does. I mean, it sucks just much, but anyway, let's get into the movie, okay? Because I like to get this crap done, but I would like to get another review done today, but I don't know if I will because I got work in the morning. I got midnight shift, so I don't know if I'll be able to. Maybe, but anyway, the movie opens up with, I will admit the animation of the cartoon looks nice, but I cannot stand Harley Quinn. I hate Margaret Robbie as Harley Quinn. I can't stand her as an actress. She's overrated. I hate her new. She's a slutty Harley Quinn. She doesn't look like Harley Quinn to me. I'm sorry. Harley Quinn to me is in the Batman animated series. That's my Harley Quinn, not this. And her voice is irritating too. She's like, okay, you want to go back to Harley? I'm like, was he Harley being born? There's some stuff in this movie that make you cringeworthy. It's cringeworthy too, by the way. But we see her being, talking about being born, and then, you know, her past of her dad beating her, and I'm like, really? We gotta have a man beating up a woman? I'm like, this movie really freaking is already setting to really being men bashing, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember Harley's past of her father beating her. Maybe I should read that up, but I don't remember reading about that at all. Why do I have to go into Harley's past about her father beating her and locking her up? And I mentioned she grew up, had psychological issues, so she became a psychologist, which I don't get. If you were beaten by your father, you know, all this drama in your life you have, why would you become a psychologist? You know, and she's desperate. She's sadly, so that's where she met the Joker. They committed all these crimes, of course, against Batman. But eventually, Joker dumped her, and she's like, "Well, I got over it." She's crying and whining over it. Yeah. But after that, Harley goes to party. She goes on. She gets her own little house, a little apartment. She buys a hyena, you know, as a pet. You know, the hyena but bites a man's balls off. You know, she goes to Gotham City nightclubs to get drunk. Harley's dancing on the table. And somebody's like, "Hey, slut, get off the table. Slut, get off the table." He's like, Roman's driver. She like steps on him, breaks his leg, makes Roman sign. It's mad. Roman is like I said, Black Mass is a big crime lord in the city. You know, she throws up, and she can't tell nobody really about her breaking up with Mr. J with her pudding because she's not under his protection and more people come after her. You know, she after partying that night, after getting drunk, throwing up, she sees girls talking about her that she'll go back to Joker eventually, so this makes her mad. So Harley steals this truck. This guy's just taking a piss and steals this truck, runs right into it and blows it up, and is just happy to do it. Ace Chemicals, where Joker was born, and she herself was. Yeah, we have Ray Montoya play, and the actress who plays her, she's a beautiful actress, but she's just wasted in here. Ray Montoya is like a cop detective, and oh yeah, well she's gay too, apparently, because her ex girlfriend's like an attorney. You know, her, the men she works, all the men, apparently, is it just all men that are the cops in this movie, and she's the only female detective cop that's treated with sexism? Yeah, they do a lot of men bashing on her, and her she was supposed to be like the lieutenant, the captain, over, but that part was taken over by, you know, by the other captain guy, whatever. And they said you ain't got no proof, so you have Huntress Meadowlark Sin, who you find out, spoiler alert, her character was like from the Patilli family, whatever, that gets murdered, including Victor Zaz, who is Simon's right hand man. So she's out for revenge. They put a crossbow to put an arrow in, and she puts an arrow in one guy's throat to let him die slowly. She gets her revenge. Antonio's investigating this, and her cop, her captain says you're not doing it no more, takes her off the case. They're very sexist toward her. Yeah. Then Harley also meets Dinah Lance, who is, I didn't care for her singing very much. The actress is beautiful, but you know she becomes Black Mask's new driver. And even times I didn't even like Uma McGregor. Like Richard Dad will cut off somebody's face. Black Mask will, signers will have him do it. There's times where I thought he was just Uma McGregor was just annoying. He's just very flamboyant. And he's like, doing woos half the time. You know, being annoying. Yeah, and she talks to Harley. They talk. Harley's drunk talking about Mr. J. And this guy finds her, and she's passed out trying to kiss her. Like hooking up with Harley. But then before Diana Lance can leave, she sees that they're trying to put her egg supply that these men are going to try to rape her, and she gives them a beating. You know, fights them. You know, Diana Lance saves her. Harley passes out drunk, and that's how she gets the job. Yeah, she's Harley's just hanging out for a day, gets an egg and cheese sandwich for breakfast. But Montoya, gets her sandwich away and she cries and she's got people after her trying to get revenge, trying to kill her. Montoya just points out the gun at her, but she like throws like trash at her and she has to shoot Montoya shoots the driver. The driver, the guy that Summers' driver, he's like she crushed, gets killed by the truck. Harley runs away, and Roman, scientist learns about Harley, what she's been doing, and wants her for himself. And you got the scene where he kidnaps her, drugs her. She's like imagining singing or whatever. It's just really random. But she's high on drugs, so her mind is just, Harley's mind is crazy. Basically, he wants to get this fertility diamond, which contains a code to these foreign bank accounts. He says to retrieve the diamond in the process along with Canary. But he gets picked up, Cassandra Kane, a teenage girl who pickpockets people, and you know, she pickpockets his Victor's ass, takes the diamond. She gets arrested. Then they realize she has the diamond, but she swallows the diamond. So he wants to bring in Harley and her skills. So Harley goes in there, just smile at the cop. Wearing dress, yes, said there's a problem, and then she's from this goes like, run, piggy. She has this fight with the cops. Sees the picture of Jack Gordon, is like, like Captain Boomerang is like, oh, I know that guy. Yeah, and she gets Cassie Kane. They run from these bad guys as well. They have a shootout with them. We'll fight soon. Harley takes her back to her apartment. He's like, give me the diamond. She's like, you stole his diamond. He's like, ugh. So Harley takes her shopping. She gives her these last dips so she can, you know, shit it out of her ass, basically. But this kid can't go take it down apparently. And Harley's like, well, go try the other way. He's like, no, I prefer the last 10. And they run out of there. Hmm. And she becomes like almost like a daughter to Harley. Yeah, as they spend more time together. But then the flag gets attacked. Her landlord Doc gives her a location. Doc's like, I'm sorry, but that's just business managers. But so yeah, I'm sorry, Harley. Then Harley has to make a deal with to give Case to return in return for his protection. It's an amusement park for an arrangement. So you know, he's like, well, Harley, you give me the diamond, and I guarantee you, I'm a powerful crime lord. I'll protect you, give you protection, all you need. So just give me the girl and the diamond, and let it be. Again, because the diamond will give him a lot of money, access to these accounts, and he'll be a very more powerful crime lord, able to bribe judges and cops and able to get away with running crime in the city. You know, become the biggest crime lord of Gotham, is which what Zionist wants. Yeah. Again, with this movie, the story is all over the place at the time, and you don't really get. It's not really much. Like I said, it's more of a Harley Quinn movie. It doesn't become a Birds of Prey movie like to the very end climax of the film. Montoya, she steals information about Cassidy Kane or whatever. She gets fired, loses her job from her sexist boss. Yeah, Harley takes her to the park. Doug takes her to a toilet. Montana arrives though, and her and Harley fight. She gets knocked out a window in the fight. Then Zaz and Diana arrive. Harley gets tranquilized. Zaz teases her. Uh, Diana, well, you have one scene where Rosenstein just can't find Harley Quinn. He's aggravated. He sees the girl's like, she's laughing at me? She's laughing at me? He's like, get up on the table and dance. He's like, dance. Dance is my club. Do it. And he tells us, girl, get this off. Take the dress off. It's ugly. She's like, my dance. Like I say, he's just very. I don't see Black Mask being found boy. I like the Black Mask, Batman under the Red Hood, where you see he's wearing the Black Mask the whole time. I want to see Black Mask in his mask the entire time, like it's burned to his face. You know, you know, you know. Zaz doesn't trust Diana. He learns that she might be betraying him, but Science is upset by this, cries about it. That's what I want to see. I want to see Black Mask cry and that fucking flamboyant. I know. Hmm. I don't want to see that. That's not Black Mask. To me, it's not. This movie completely ruined the character. You know, but Zag gets killed by hunters because he was one of the guys that killed the Pacino family that Mary Elizabeth Winston's character must get revenge on, and he was the last one. And they said, "We'll team up. We'll team up." Then they got Black Mask puts on his mask finally, which is cool. Yeah. He comes over and asks the gang, we're gonna kill Harley Quinn and prove that I'm the platform crime or whatever. Yeah. The standoff doesn't sure, but they'll point the weapons at each other. Eventually, they said, when Roman Sanson's game, they defend themselves. Harley gets upset. Oh, we're like friends. We need to order pizza. And then Diana's like, and there's like, calm down, Harley. And they fight his men off. They like slide down a hill. But Elizabeth Olsen, I do like if she stabs a guy, but again, they're beating up the men. Why can't it just be a woman villainess? If you're gonna have a female superhero, why not just? I mean, guarantee you, Malcolm McDowell, who's the villain in Tank Girl, but that was fine. You know, he was great. That's a lot better of a villain than, in my opinion, than Owen McGregor. Uh, yeah, Wonder Woman, 1984. Despite them underusing Cheetah, I thought Kristen Wiig did a good job and was a good villainess for her to come up against, in my opinion. So why couldn't it just be a woman villain? Just can't think. Sophia Falcone, maybe that would have been interesting to see her go up against Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey in a different movie. But they unite. Harley uses her bat. They, hammer. They try to exit the shop, but they try to, they beat half the men up. They almost exit out of there. But Roma Sinus, takes a shot, shoots Montoya, but she's got a bullet for breath, but she's still passed out. But finally, Black Canary used her ability. Black Canary should be wearing the mask and stuff. She doesn't do that in here. She finally does the scream and just passes out. Black Canary has done that scream and not passed out, but now I saw, just passing out. Yeah. Harley rides like, because she does like rollerblading or whatever. So she's right, on her rollerblades, getting a ride from hunters on her bike. Takes out the man, not kicks Black Mask's mask off, and they fight. Black Mask, runs, they run this dock or whatever, this pier, whatever, and it's, like if you would go fishing at a pier in Florida, but it's like dark time and very foggy. She's like, I'm fucking Harley Quinn, and just shoot him, and dumbass shoots at a statue, whatever she shot out, and pickpocketer girl. Apparently, she's like, I got your ring, and she was able to pull off a grenade. That sounds like, you gonna think you can stop me? You know, Harley comes over, she kicks Zionist, and he falls into the pier while he falls in the water. His body just blows up, and Black Mass dies. His death, his criminal, organization disappears basically. Matera gets reassigned to the position GCP. So she joins up with Diana, with Black Canary and Huntress, and they become the birds of this vigilante group called the Birds of Prey. Funded by the money, Harley later pawns the bankroll her own business she set up as cast as an apprentice. Harley is about to reveal a secret about Batman to the audience before it cuts away. Whatever. What secret was that? We know he's Bruce Wayne, and that's Birds of Prey. Yeah. So yeah, let me get into why I don't like this film. Yeah. Why I don't like Birds of Prey. Why I hated this film. This movie just was not my cup of tea. I'm sorry. I don't like Margaret Robbie. I didn't really care for much of the cast. I didn't care for the story. This is not a Birds of Prey movie. No, it's not. It's a Harley Quinn film. And what movie is this? What is this? What are you trying to be? You trying to be a Birds of Prey movie? Are you trying to be Avengers Endgame? Because you failed 100% at that. Oh, and Black Widow. Iron Man 2, Black Widow, and all the Avengers movies is more of a badass than any of these characters. Yeah. Because the movie doesn't feel like it's man bashing. You don't need to man bash. The problem is the story sucks. I didn't care for Harley Quinn. She's so annoying. She's a slut. She's not Harley Quinn. Her costume in this sucks. My Harley Quinn is in Batman the Animated Series here that I have on my shirt. Yes, I'm looking at my 4 volumes of Batman the Animated Series. Yes, that is my Harley Quinn, not this. Or my Harley Quinn Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, or Batman Southern Arkham. That is my Harley Quinn. Those actresses are better. They have done her terribly in live action. I hate this Harley Quinn live action. This is a Harley Quinn movie. This is not a Birds of Prey movie. You're just trying to get an ensemble cast in here. People that are wasted. You know. Margot Robbie didn't care. Mary Elizabeth Vincent, I do like this her as an actress, but I really like Sky High. Sky High is more entertaining than this, and it doesn't have a woke agenda. It's not men bashing me over the head. No, all the teens in that movie have powers, including boys and girls and men and women, and the film doesn't feel like it's being sexist. This film feels like a sexist superhero movie. Like Kathy Ann and the writer, the dialogue sucks. The humor is not funny. You know, Harley like making out with her dog. Is just weird. And yeah, the stuff she does, and then because the taking a dump jokes. I'm like, okay, that I didn't find funny. Generally, Smoke Pill, good actress, but Black Canary should be wearing a mask, not as a singer in a club. That is not Black Canary. Rosa Perez as Montoya, she's trying here, but I just didn't care about her and her ex girlfriend. I'm like, yay, now we gotta have a little bit of a gay agenda in here too. Yeah, yeah. Oh, McGregor is completely wasted in here. I did not like his performance. He's very flamboyant. He's like, you know, swimming around or just being over the top and silly and just making damn do movements with his body. This is not Black Mask. Batman under the Red Hood. With the Black Mask was not like that. He was over the top. He was dark. He was a dark guy, crime lord. He was a guy that was serious. And one guy that in the movie looked at him in the wrong way, so just fucking punched him out. That's the signs when I see which one is Black Mask and being creepy as fuck. You know, yeah, being a gangster lord, not a flamboyant gay type like gangster being flamboyant. He's like, whoop, you know, acting all weird. This is embarrassing. It's probably the most awful performance I've seen Owen McGregor do. I'd rather watch The Phantom Menace: Attack of the Clones, which is going to turn 20 this month, by the way, is a better movie than this. Because it's not women bashing, it's not men bashing, it's not being sexist. Why do you have to do that? What is this movie? It only becomes a Birds of Prey movie at the climax. The cinematography, the film does look nice, all men. Cinematography's nice. The action scenes are decent, but again, I'd rather I'd rather watch Black Scorpion. The action is not great in that movie, but I'd rather watch that. Tank Girl has fun action in it too, and Laura Petty's great in it. Uh, Wonder Woman had better action. Captain Marvel had better action. I love that. Her beams that come out of the fist that comes out, the beams that come out of her fist is real cool. Her doing this, her smiles, her you know, doing that. Just when the scroll, like hisses at her, or whatever, the scroll screams at her, and then she, that's more fucking sexy and more of a badass than this. Yeah, I mean, they're just they're kicking them in the balls, they're beating them to death. And this movie just sets out to hate men. It's a lot of men bashing. Like it's just this message in this movie is like all men are terrible and they're all awful and we're all pieces of shit. That's what I think this movie's trying to get at. You just having an agenda. Yeah, and the film, like I said, on its 82 million or $100 million budget, yeah, it made $205.5 million wide, but it was not a huge hit. Yeah, yeah, it didn't do well, Kathy Yang, because you and the writers are trying to make it, yeah. And people say it's COVID. No, it wasn't COVID. The movie still would have not made that much money. It fell short of its budget, so of breaking records. So it didn't really break records. It was not a huge hit because it sucks. It's also boring. The Birds of Prey, they don't get enough screen time. Yeah, it tries to be rated R, throw it in there, but again, I'd rather watch the Punisher movies. Not Punisher Warzone. Punisher Warzone sucks. That's a cartoon. But I'm talking about the Punisher 1999 and the Punisher from 2004, Deadpool 1 and 2, and Deadpool Wolverine. Yeah. That also has a female Deadpool in it. That's more of a badass than any of these women in here. Not saying they can be. Well, no, Margot Robbie's not a badass. She's annoying. I can't stand her. Yeah, I hated this film. Hated this movie. It's just a man bashing movie. It's a movie that just hates men. That makes us men look bad. It's a very sexist movie. And first of all, women can be bad. It's like I just said. I've talked about superhero movies, female superhero movies I do like. Even though I hate Catwoman and Elektra, Elektra was a badass, and Elektra was a badass in Daredevil, the director's cut and the original version. At least in my opinion, she was. Well, starting to be. She was. She just couldn't fight Bullseye. Not because he was a man, because Bullseye was more of an expert of an assassin. That's why. And Elektra was just starting out, so she really had no chance of taking him on a fight. Even though Halle Berry sucks in the movie Catwoman, she does look sexy. That's it. But it was film, and it's probably her mask that looks like Mickey Mouse's ears. Uh, she's about, say what you will about her line of the toe line. That thing helps your tone is shocked. Same thing. I'll take that line, especially when Storm comes up to attack him. That was more badass. And in Storm 3, X2 United, where she's able to use her power to get the jets away. Or in X-Men 3, when she fights that girl who uses super speed and she shocks her. In X-Men: The Last Stand, that was badass. There's been plenty. Yeah, Black Widow is a badass. So was Elizabeth Olsen. She fucking rips Ultron's heart out. So there have been plenty of females in other superhero movies, even not female superhero movies, that have done badass things. And that I like. Kobe Smulders, yeah, she's good. Her character's a badass. A lot of the Marvel women and Marvel, Brie Larson, uh, yeah, not gonna, Evelyn Lilly as well is a badass. So don't tell me I'm sexist, but because those movies work because they're not being sexist. They're giving us a good story. We don't need agendas in our movies. We don't need, you know, I call it woke. I call it, woke means. Who said woke means? Well, woke means I think pretty much means that you're just bashing people. You're just using a woke agenda for your own gain. You don't care about superhero films. You just think that the world is important of what you think. You want everybody to think the same way you do. I'm like, there's more like that. Okay? And the word woke, who cares what it means? It's just an agenda. That's what it means. That you use in your movies and TV shows because you want to send me a message. You don't need to beat me over the head. Okay, yeah, some men can be awful. Don't get me wrong, some men can be terrible and rapists. I hate that. Men that rape women is fucking nasty to me. And should be in prison. But not all men are bad, and this movie makes it seem that way. It's just men bashing. And it doesn't suck because the story sucks, the characters suck, the story's all over the place. It's not. It doesn't. It feels like a Harley Quinn movie. It's not a Birds of Prey movie. It's just not to the climax. So it's not a Birds of Prey movie, and I don't care. You know, it's just a movie that they rushed out there probably just to make a buck. Just because Margot Robbie's so big hit, and as Harley Quinn, she's a big huge hit. So we gotta make a movie about her in Birds of Prey, and of course it didn't work. But she did come back as a character in the Suicide Squad. Thankfully, she's not in a lot as she's in this movie because she is annoying. I cannot stand her overrated slutty ass in this film. Anyway, other than that, I hate Birds of Prey. One of the worst superhero movies ever made, in my opinion. One of the worst female superhero movies. Up there with the Catwoman and Lecture, as I put it. I'd rather watch Supergirl. Supergirl's a lot better. Yeah, that's not a masterpiece, but it didn't feel like it was man bashing. Didn't have its own agenda. It actually tried to be a good movie. It tried. This movie doesn't try. It just falls flat in space, in my opinion. But anyway, so anyway, guys, don't take it personal. That's just my opinion and my point of view on this movie. Don't take another person what I say in videos. I'm not saying you have to agree with me, but it's just my opinion. We agree to disagree. So my rating for Birds of Prey. I do like Mary Elizabeth Winstead in the movie. I just wish she had a lot more to do. And some of the cinematography is nice in the movie. And Ewan McGregor, when he puts on the mask, just for the climax, it does look cool. But that's it. That's all I liked about it. Everything else I hated in this movie. I hated Birds of Prey. So my rating for this film, I'm gonna give it a Birds of Prey thumbs down. Birds of Prey, the fabulous enchantments of one Harley Quinn. 1 out of 5 stars. My rating for this film is 1 out of 5 stars. So, guys, if you've seen this in this movie down below, in the comments down below, what do you think of Birds of Prey in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? If you like it, cool. I don't understand why. I would never understand why anybody likes this movie. I don't understand why critics like this movie. I don't get it. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and stay tuned. Probably not today. Let's see, today's Thursday. I gotta work tomorrow and Saturday, so probably Saturday. Probably Saturday or today if I feel like it. But the next 2020, remember we're on the year 2020. This movie came out in March. It stars Vin Diesel. It's not Marvel or DC, and it stars Guy Pearce as well. I'm trying to look at the Alesna Goldenez, Toby Kebbell, and Guy Pearce starred in this movie. I'll look up the runtime later, but anyway, that is Bloodshot. Yay! Bloodshot was such a great movie. Another rant coming up. Yeah, I've seen this movie. Um, like at the start of January. Yeah, before I got my job at Arby's, before I started working there, I watched this. But Bloodshot, starring Vin Diesel. This is the next superhero review, so stay tuned for Bloodshot. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my review of Bloodshot, starring Vin Diesel. Probably another rant. And guys, my rating for Birds of Prey once again is 1 out of 5 stars and a thumbs down. Tell me, guys, in the comments down below. What do you think of this movie in your opinion? Uh, what are some of your favorite DC movies and least favorite DC movies? And which version of Harley Quinn do you prefer? I prefer the '90s animated series one, the ones that are in the cartoons. Or do you prefer Margot Robbie, and why? If you do, just tell me in the comments down below what you think of the film. And guys, if you like the movie, that's fine. I can't tell you how to think. I can't tell you, that you can, me not liking this movie, me and my hatred for this movie, of how me not liking it should not affect what you think of it. Okay, should never affect that. You know, because at the end of the day, we all have different opinions. I just see the movie that as a man bashing movie. That's just the way I think. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later in my review for Bloodshot, starring Vin Diesel, coming up next. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.